really frustrated with being told that your pelvic floor is weak, you just need to do more Kegels, you do more Kegels, but yet you're not seeing the results you're looking for. In this video, we're going over why Kegels are not working for you and what you should do instead. This is the number one complaint that I get from my clients who are struggling with leaks, overactive bladder, or urgency, is that they've been to see so many different healthcare providers and been told that their pelvic floor is weak and they need to continue to strengthen it, or it's just a normal part of aging and you have to deal with it. Which neither of those are true. There's so much that can be done. And the number one reason why Kegels are not working for you is oftentimes the pelvic floor is already too tight. Now, the pelvic floor can become tight for a number of reasons, whether we're stressed, if we hold our breath, if we clench our glutes, if we suck our abs in all of the time. What this is doing is it creates too much pressure in our abdomen. So we have a lot of interabdominal pressure. When that pressure increases, you're going to get problems maybe up above that, whether you have digestive issues or heartburn. And then below that in the pelvic floor, which can look like a number of different symptoms to include bladder leaks, urgency, overactive bladder, hip, back pain, and more. So when you're squeezing and doing those Kegels and already have a tight pelvic floor, you're contributing to more tightness. So that's why you're not getting the results that you're looking for. What we have to do is first be able to feel the movement with our pelvic floor. That is key. And it definitely can take some practice and can be frustrating. And there's often lots of different parts that we have to take a look at because this is a system. It's not just squeezing and doing Kegels or making sure our core is really strong. It's making sure that everything works together. Our hips, our spine, our breath, our posture, our nervous system, and more. So the first thing we want to do is learn how this system works. And it starts with our breath. And I know it can be boring and seem like you don't need to work on it, but this is the number one thing that worked for me with years of dealing with hip and back pain. So taking a breath, we want to breathe out to the sides and front and back of our rib cage. When we take a breath in, our diaphragm, our breathing muscle, lowers down. You imagine our pelvic floor sitting on the bottom. As the diaphragm on the inhale is lowering down, it lengthens that pelvic floor. So that's that movement I'm talking about that you're looking for. We don't want to feel pressure or bearing down. It's this gentle lengthening of the pelvic floor, almost like a blossoming and opening up. And then as we exhale, the diaphragm, the breathing muscle, comes back up and it lifts the pelvic floor with it. So as we inhale, breathing muscle descends, lengthening pelvic floor, and then exhale, the diaphragm comes back up, lifting the pelvic floor. So it's this constant relationship that we're looking for, which is why squeezing and doing Kegels doesn't do anything for this system. And this is where practicing your breathing really comes into play. So you can take a couple of breaths, place those hands at the bottom of your rib cage, and just take a breath in. What do you notice? Do you feel anything in the pelvic floor lengthening? Is it hard to take the breath in? And sometimes that's just the first thing I start people off with is breathing. And this is something that we go in depth in our Aptify because it does take a lot to get the breathing down. Whether our mid-back is too tight, our hips are tight, we need to work on glute strengthening. If we address some of those things and then come back, it can make the breathing easier. Laying down's a lot easier than sitting. So even though it's just breathing, there is a lot of things that go into training that. So this breath that I just explained is what we're going to do with the exercises that are way more beneficial than just squeezing and doing Kegels, because we need our pelvic floor to be able to lengthen, respond, adapt, activate to all of our daily movements throughout the day. Let's continue this breath in our first exercise. So we're going to come down onto our back. And if you've got a block or a pillow, go ahead and grab that. Coming down onto our back, you're going to take the block or pillow and just place it just above your knees. You can take your hands and place them at the bottom of your rib cage. Just check in with your breath, and we're going to start to move our pelvis. So on your inhale, you're going to think of a little lift, little arch in the low back. And then on our exhale, we're going to gently tuck that pelvis underneath and squeeze the block. Inhale, soften around the block, little arch. Exhale, squeeze and tuck. things we want to look for is to make sure our abdomen isn't pushing or bulging out. You want to make sure as you're rocking, the whole body isn't rocking. Just inhale, a little lift, exhale, tuck and squeeze. We're working on pelvic mobility, which can take a little practice, especially if you notice your low back is stiff or we sit a lot or carry things during the day. And as we're squeezing on the exhale, we're getting our inner thighs, which like to work with our core and our pelvic floor. Nice breath in, nice breath out. And as you're blowing out, think of blowing out candles. It will help with that gentle lifting up. We're going to do 3 more. So these are great exercises that you can kind of add in throughout your day. Maybe you find a benefit more from one than the other. About 8 to 10 reps is perfect for them. Last one. Nice. Now we'll take that block out and come on up to your knees. And we're going to take your right leg and scoot that right leg out towards the side. You're going to bring your hands down towards the ground, or they can come down towards the block. And you want to think of shifting your hips back just till you feel a stretch in that right inner thigh. And then pull yourself come forward. Sinking back. And then pulling come forward. Just gently rocking in and out. And make sure your back isn't rounded. You might have to prop yourself up a little higher. And as we're inhaling, going back, think of breathing into the low back, those sit bones opening up, and then pull yourself, come forward. And go at your own pace. If it feels really good, like a nice stretch, you can kind of hold for a little longer. Then we're going to compare this side to our other side. This is a great exercise because oftentimes those inner thighs, our adductor muscles, are tight, but they're also weak. So it's that combination. We did a little bit of strengthening in the beginning with the squeeze, and now working on a little bit of mobility and stretching. Now we'll take that right leg in. Left leg is going to go out. Hands come down towards the ground. Think of lifting that tailbone, sink those hips back. Ooh, and pull yourself come forward. Sink those hips back and pull yourself come forward. I'm just seeing if you notice a pattern from side to side with these. Oh my goodness, why is the side so tight? Oh, I did some gardening. We're at our place in Asheville, and it is like on the steep slope. We have a blackberry, bush problem. They just grow like crazy and fast. So that's why my muscles are like, hello. Okay. I was mainly doing that to distract myself. Let's do one more on this side. Really send the breath, those sit bones. Whew. Okay. And then pull yourself, come back up. We're going to come down onto our right side. Prop yourself up on that right forearm. And if you've got a block or pillow, we're going to take that and place that in between our knees. We're going to think of lifting the left side of the rib cage, but you don't want to have a big flare. Keep that rib cage over your pelvis. I'm going to show lots of different options with this one. First one, on your exhale, you're going to think of lifting the left side of your rib cage, squeeze the block, and lift your top knee. It's a rotation coming from the hip. And then lower back down. Inhale. Exhale, press into the right forearm, squeeze the block, lift that hip. You'll feel obliques, lower abdominals, pelvic floor lifting up. Deep hip rotators, lower back down. These internal hip rotators are really important for our pelvic floor because one of them attaches into our pelvic floor. Ooh. And you stop. Squeeze the block, lift up, and lower back down. Now, if you wanted to add on, when you squeeze, you could also press those hips and lift, come up, and drop it back down. And your gaze can go wherever it's most comfortable. You can look down, you can look to the side, making sure the shoulders and those hips stay stacked. Good, we're going to do one more on this side. Nice. And then let's switch to the other side. Prop yourself up onto that left forearm. Stack the hips, stack those shoulders. You're going to exhale, squeeze that block. Right side of the rib cage comes up as you lift that right ankle up, but that movement comes from the hip. Back down. Exhale. So I love how you can do an exercise. Doesn't seem like, oh my gosh, it's going to be so challenging, but it really is. You can really activate core, pelvic floor, our hips with incorporating lots of different exercises. I'm all about give me an exercise where I can get a number of different things in. Who's got time to do hours of exercising? Nice job. Squeeze and lift. And this is where it's retraining the core and the pelvic floor. If you want to press and lift those hips up, you can. Retraining that core and pelvic floor so that it can operate, lengthen, respond, adapt to our daily movements. Not just, oh, I got to engage and keep it tight. Needs to be responsive. Whoop. We'll do one more. Nice. Lower back down. Now, the last exercise I have for us is standing up. And check in as we're moving. What's going on at the feet? What happens at the hips? We're going to start with those feet a little wider than hip distance apart. We'll start on the right-hand side. You're going to take that right leg and rotate the whole leg in. We're going to think of bending the right knee. That right sit bone goes back behind. And you're going to push into the right foot on your exhale, come up, and we'll send our pelvis over towards the left-hand side. Come back to neutral, bend that right knee, send the hips back. So we're working in internal rotation, some hip mobility, lengthening the glute, exhale, push in, shift the hips over towards the side. You don't have to go very deep, just checking in the mobility, how things are moving, what you're feeling, what you notice. Inhale, spread those sit bones. Exhale, blow out your candles as you come back up. When you come back up, you want to be very careful that you're not clenching, squeezing, and thrusting those hips forward. Just think of driving that right foot straight into the ground so you come straight up. One more time on this side. Nice. And then we'll switch so that right foot goes back to facing the side of your mat. We'll take the left side, rotate that left side in. Left sit bone goes back, lengthen out. Exhale, press, come up, send those hips over. Ooh. Right side. Send it back. And as the left sit bone's going back, we're thinking of the left knee coming forward too. Nice job. Good. One more time here. Nice job. And just see differences from side to side. What do you notice? And bring everything back. You can try it sitting, you can do it standing. Let's come back to the breath. Breathing out to the sides, front, back of the rib cage. Can you feel diaphragm lengthening? Can you feel that pelvic floor lengthening? And then coming back up. Now this does take practice to get it down, so don't get frustrated. Starting with the breathing is the first thing, and you're going to love this video to really help you get started if you're struggling with your breath. If you're wanting to learn more about all the different connections into the core and the pelvic floor, our app Defy is great, our pelvic floor playbook, and I'll put some more resources for you down below in the description box. Stick with it. You want to feel that movement of the pelvic floor lengthening and then lifting and coming back up. And sometimes we have to kind of, like an onion, peel away those layers, looking at the hip, the spine, our posture, our glutes, a number of different things. So stick with it. Let's take a nice big cleansing breath in. Lift those arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, bring your hands down towards heart center. Thanking your body for your practice. Keep up the good work, and I cannot wait to see you in the next class.